Hello and welcome to the Nightline. Thank you for joining us. I am Razi Ahmad. Let's get right into the news. New rabies-infected areas were declared in Kampung Limpaki in Limbang and Kampung Belawai, Tanjung Manis in Muka. With this latest addition, the number of rabies-infected areas in Sarawak since the onset of the rabies outbreak in July 17 now stands at 66.
In a press release, the Department of Veterinary Services Sarawak or DVSS said it hopes to degazette some areas in Serian Division as no rabies-positive dogs were detected during the surveillance and monitoring activities. DVSS highlighted this in response to Bukit Asih Assemblywoman Irene Chang's recent statement where she called for compulsory antibodies jab for every dog bite victim. According to DVSS, as of today, the cumulative number of dogs vaccinated against rabies across Sarawak was 190,349. DVSS added it is compulsory for all dogs in Sarawak to receive yearly anti-rabies vaccinations. Anti-rabies vaccination programs throughout Sarawak will also be intensified, especially in Kuching and Sibu Division. DVSS said it would continue to carry out mass vaccination of dogs and to conduct surveillance and monitoring the disease situation in the state.
The preparations of the Sarawak Fire and Rescue Department in facing the monsoon season is going smoothly. JBPM Sarawak Director Kirudin Drahman said all necessary rescue and evacuation operations can be carried out without aggravating victims and with full compliance of standard operating procedures.
Dan dalam bot-bot penyelamat kita, lori penyelamat kita sediakan juga supaya mangsa yang kita pindah besok ataupun mangsa bakal yang tidak ada perlu kita kena ubat supaya tidak timbul kegusaran di mangsa lain. Sebab bila mangsa lain pakai penutup muka, mangsa datang tak suka, dia risau. Kegusaran ini dapat kita tandangi bila kita bekalkan anggota dengan tambahan ni dan juga bukan satu cabaran lah. Dan pada masa sama juga anggota kita kena berada dalam tahap yang cukup baik, kesediaan mereka, dan kita lihat di bawah etika kita dan juga akta kita, setiap anggota bomba siap siaga siap masa, mereka tidak pernah mempersoalkan bila diarah.
He said this when appearing as a guest on the Sejahtera Asia talk show host on TVS. He added 4 standing orders have also been implemented by JBPM Sarawak to ensure smooth evacuation.
Perintah tetap operasi banjir 9/2019, langkah kesiapsiagaan persediaan menghadapi musim banjir tahun 2020 dan langkah kesiapsiagaan persediaan menghadapi musim banjir dalam konteks pandemik COVID-19 dan juga pelan atur gerak sumber manusia dan logistik. Di mana di negeri Sarawak ini kita bukan saja kita bersedia di dalam balai menunggu laporan, tapi kita berada mewujudkan itu RP inilah regional RFB regional forward base, di mana aset air dan aset darat kita ditempatkan lokasi ini dan senang disusun atur.
The government's decision to increase the withdrawal limit of Account 1 of the Employees Provident Fund, or EPF, has been gladly received by Sarawakians all around. When met by TVS, most Kuchingites expressed gratitude and relief for that timely decision.
Saya berharap, kami berharap semua rakyatlah, mun sekiranya diluluskan ataupun dipermudahkan dapat menggunakan wang tersebut dengan sebaik mungkin, dengan sejujur mungkin lah. Minta semua macam ya lah. Jangan madah ngambil tu pakai lain, isi dah gunalah.
Dulu kami kerja apabila tukar sistem, tukar pekerjaan, habis kami orang dibuang, itulah cubalah 2 tahun dah menganggur. Dengan cuba bisnes yang kecil-kecil, cuba mohonlah dalam 10K.
Previously, Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz announced that it doesn't matter if the EPF member is a formal sector worker or self-employed, actively contributing or not. As long as their incomes are affected, they can withdraw from EPF Account 1. The latest details on the program will be announced on tomorrow, December 2nd, and any misconceptions will be clarified. Prior to this being reported, members who have savings of more than 90,000 ringgit in account 1 can withdraw up to 10% with a maximum withdrawal limit of 60,000 ringgit.
The federal government has opened 19 investigation papers into 6 subsidiaries of the world's largest glove maker, Top Glove, over offences involving workers' dormitories. The Ministry of Human Resources Labour Department said that enforcement operations were carried out last week at 6 of Top Glove's facilities in 5 states, investigating conditions at worker accommodations and hostels.
This followed simultaneous enforcement operations carried out by the Peninsular Malaysia Labour Department JTKSM, an agency under the Human Resources Ministry, last Thursday, November 26. JKTSM Director General Azri Abdul Rahman said investigators found the accommodation to be cramped, uncomfortable, have poor ventilation and lack resting and kitchen areas.
Kita akan melakukan pendakwaan di mahkamah. Kertas siasatan telah dibuka dan kita akan mendapatkan orang kata keseluruhan JBP untuk buat pendakwaan. Tindakan denda ataupun kompaun akan dikenakan sekiranya disabitkan kesalahan. Kesemua tindakan ini adalah pernyataan tegas bahawa kementerian dan juga jabatan tidak akan sekali-kali berkompromi terhadap majikan yang melanggar mana-mana akta yang sedang berkuasa, tidak kira akta 446 maupun akta kerja 1955.
Azri added each violation under the Act carries a 50,000 ringgit fine as well as potential jail time. The enforcement operations were carried out on Top Glove's worker dormitories in Kedah, Perak, Kelantan, Negeri Sembilan and Johor after the discovery of a COVID-19 cluster at a Top Glove worker dormitory in Meru, Klang on November 7.
Saya nak tekankan di sini iaitu dua perkara yang merupakan kerisauan dan juga orang kata penekanan pada pihak jabatan dari pihak kementerian supaya perumahan yang disediakan tidak menjadi punca kepada merebaknya penyakit, dan yang kedua, perumahan yang disediakan tidak menjadi punca kepada negara disabitkan dengan forced labour.
The government shut down some of Top Glove's factories in stages last week to facilitate screening and quarantine employees for the novel coronavirus. Tighter curbs on movement in place since November 14th in the areas where the factories and hostels are located have been extended to December 14. By Monday, a total of 3,406 Top Glove workers have tested positive.
Welcome back. China has provided North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and his family with an experimental coronavirus vaccine. North Korean expert at the Center for the National Interest think tank in Washington said the Kims and several senior North Korean officials had been vaccinated.
It was unclear which company had supplied its drug candidate to Kim's and whether it had proven to be safe. Harry Kazianis said Kim Jong-un and multiple other high-ranking officials within the Kim family and leadership network have been vaccinated for coronavirus within the last 2 to 3 weeks. Some experts doubted that Kim would use an experimental vaccine. Choi Jung-hon, an infectious disease expert, said even if a Chinese vaccine had already been approved, no drug is perfect and he would not take that risk when he has numerous shelters which can ensure almost complete isolation.
Sarawak today recorded 1 new positive COVID-19 case in Kuching. This brings the total cumulative tally of positive cases in the state to 1,065.
Case 1065 is a local who arrived in Sarawak from Sabah on September 15th and works as a trainer at the Kuching Ministry of Health Training Institute. The state has recorded a total of 19 deaths since the first positive COVID-19 case was reported on March 13th. No new clusters were detected today, while 6 clusters remain active in Kuching, namely the Green Hill cluster with 91 cases, Wisma Sebekas cluster with 44 cases, Baki cluster with 33 cases, Jalan Abel cluster with 15 cases, Besi cluster with 12 cases, and Selada cluster with 9 cases. Kuching and Miri districts remain as yellow zones, with a total of 12 and 2 local infections reported in the past 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry reported 1,212 new COVID-19 cases as of noon today and 3 deaths. Hence, the cumulative tally of positive cases in the country now stands at 65,697. The Klang Valley region reported the highest number of new infections at 43%, followed by Sabah at 26.9%. According to Health Director General Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah, slightly over 3/4 of cases in Selangor stemmed from existing clusters or close contact screening. Of today's cases, 9 were imported. Melaka, Terengganu and Perlis did not report any new transmissions. There are currently 181 active COVID-19 clusters in the country, of which 41 saw an increase in cases today. The 3 clusters which saw the highest increase were the Perigi cluster with 153, Bintang cluster 71 and Cergas cluster 66. All 3 either involved factories or construction sites.
The Health Ministry has called on all parties to pool their efforts and strengthen smart cooperation with the government towards achieving the target of 0 HIV/AIDS cases by 2030.
Its Minister, Datuk Sri Dr. Atam Baba, said such cooperation could help to boost prevention and control activities and treatment and care for HIV/AIDS patients while tackling the disease in this country.
Saya menyeru semua pihak, sama ada kerajaan, sektor swasta, badan-badan bukan kerajaan, badan-badan korporat, mereka yang hidup dengan HIV dan juga masyarakat untuk bersama-sama mengembeling tenaga dalam menangani HIV/AIDS dan isu berkaitan di negara ini.
He said these when officiating the virtual commemorations of the National Level World AIDS Awareness Day 2020. Dr. Atham said the occasion, celebrated on December 1st each year, should be a platform for all parties to renew their commitment and double their efforts in curbing HIV/AIDS infection. He said the government had been carrying out various HIV/AIDS prevention, control, treatment and care activities since 1985 and there had been many positive changes.
Malaysia pernah mencatat bilangan kes HIV tertinggi, iaitu 6,978 kes pada tahun 2002 dan telah menyaksikan penurunan kes sebanyak 50% pada akhir tahun 2019. Negara kita juga telah dapat mengekalkan kadar jangkitan vertikal HIV dari ibu ke anak pada kadar di bawah 2% dan memastikan ia tidak menjadi ancaman kesihatan awam.
He also noted that new HIV infections among intravenous drug users had dropped from 5,176 cases in 2002 to 164 in 2019. Dr. Atham said the administrations of antiretroviral drugs on persons living with HIV, PL-HIV, had also been stepped up from 28% in 2015 to 57% in 2019.
Gold prices today slipped its worst in 4 years in the global market. The announcement on the discovery of a vaccine for COVID-19, which has brought relief to everyone in the world, including in Malaysia, is said to be a major factor for the sharp drop in the price of gold lately.
Gold investment consultant Shukor Hashim said the price of gold went up by 37% from early January until August and it used to exceed 300 ringgit a gram. But the price dropped again to 256 ringgit per gram currently. However, he said when news on the discovery of COVID-19 vaccine spread, it has to some extent reduced the risk of the COVID-19 threat, with economists and investors thinking the world economy will recover. Therefore, in this situation, gold is seen to have lost its attraction as a safe asset. Meanwhile, Shukor said he could not predict when the gold price will go up again. He said the rise in gold price is not only due to COVID-19, but many other factors, and for this year, it is the pandemic. For example, the power transfer in the United States between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. If there is a drama between them, the price of gold can go up again.
Hello again. A plan on converting SMK Demak Baru from a vocational school to a sports school has been put forward by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. This was revealed by its Minister, Dato' Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah.
He said the idea of converting the vocational school to sports school is cost-saving and feasible compared to establishing a sports school from scratch.
Sekolah sukan must have all those facilities. Other states, when they want to ask for the sekolah sukan, they will have to go through that phase. Fasa 1, which might have a track, ada tempat-tempat yang sukan yang lain, dan fasa 2, fasa 3. It might take maybe 5-10 years to complete a sekolah sukan.
He added on that it made sense to develop SMK Demak Laut into a sports school, as it is located within the vicinity to various sports complexes including 2 stadiums, a shooting range, wushu training centre, gymnasium and the high performance centre.
So where can you get a place like that? So that's why we want to bring this thing up. Why we have this kind of idea is we want to turn Sarawak into a sport powerhouse.
Meanwhile, according to former Malaysian sprinter Watson Nyambek, he agrees with the proposal in order to provide better facilities to conduct intensive trainings locally.
Kita payah kena pergi di luar Sarawak. Sebab kita tahu sekolah sukan di Malaysia tu ataupun di Sarawak lah akan memberi impak kepada negeri sendirilah. Contohnya atlet-atlet kita sendiri boleh berlatih dekat dengan assembly, dengan tempat tinggalnya.
As for former Malaysian diver Brian Nixon Lomas said that a sports school in Sarawak is vital in developing local talent.
Dan beri atlet-atlet yang masih muda tu satu jalan di mana sekolah sukan tu boleh membawa ataupun memetikatkan bukan saja akademik tetapi dalam sukan sekali.
The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, has built 61 telecommunication towers that are providing internet coverage for Orang Asli settlements as of October this year.
Communications and Multimedia Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah said at the same time there are 8 towers in the implementation stage and are expected to complete it in stages from first quarter of 2021.
Daripada 8 ini termasuk 2 di Cameron Highland, iaitu di Pos Lemoy dan di Pos Kampung Telimau. Melalui pelan jendela fasa 1, sebanyak 85 menara baru dengan perkhidmatan 4G akan dibina di 136 buah kampung orang asli di seluruh negara dan dijangka mula pelaksanaannya pada suku kedua tahun 2021. Daripada 85 ini, 11 berada di Cameron Highland, 38 di Negeri Pahang, 19 di Perak. Kita akan terus bekerjasama dengan pihak industri dan juga kerajaan negeri dan pihak berkuasa tempatan untuk merancakkan lagi soal penyediaan ini.
This during the question and answer session in the Dewan Rakyat today. He was replying to a question from Dr. Lee Boon Chai, PH Gopeng, who wanted to know the status on internet coverage for the Orang Asli community and plans to improve the service. Meanwhile, Saifuddin also said that his ministry was evaluating extent of usage and effectiveness of internet centres in Orang Asli settlements. He said of the 873 internet centres under the MCMC, 128 of them serve 181 Orang Asli communities and that the ministry was looking into improving the level of internet coverage in the areas involved.
Irfan Bhakti is now the boss of Kuching City FC as the team faces the Premier League next season. Kuching City FC chairman Fazruddin Abdul Rahman said with an experienced figure in the team, it will improve the quality of Kuching City FC's football.
Pada hari ini, saya ingin mengumumkan bahawa Kuching City FC akan diterajui oleh Irfan Bhakti pada musim 2021. Jadi, kami amat berbangga dan teruja untuk bekerjasama dengan beliau, memandangkan beliau adalah antara jurulatih yang berpengalaman dan mempunyai banyak kejayaan di bawah resume beliau. Jadi kita yakin bahawa beliau boleh membawa kelebihan dan meningkatkan lagi mutu Kuching City FC.
Fazruddin said so at a press conference to introduce the new team head coach on Tuesday. He also revealed that the Kuching City FC binds the services of the veteran for a period of 1 year. In addition, Kuching City FC captain Joseph Kalang, who previously served under the tutelage of Irfan Bhakti with Terengganu for 3 years beginning 2010, believed that the team will perform better under the new leadership.
Ya, memang kami pernah andanya 3 musim, iaitu 2010, 11 dengan 12. 3 musimnya, so banyak yang kami belajar daripadanya. Dan banyak yang Nya tunjuk aja. Nya merupakan seorang coach yang disiplin tinggi. So kami andanya saya ada masalah. So it's good bekerja sama dengan balik apa semua. So memudahan, semoga season tu dipermudahkan segala perjalanan tu lah semua.
Malaysian footballer Joseph Kalangti, who plays for Kuching in the Malaysia Premier League and the Malaysian national team, wishes to remain on the team before retiring his football career in Sarawak. He made this decision after his team has successfully played in the 2020 Premier League and won 4th place this season, which was a high accomplishment to the team.
Ya, kita sih tahu apa berlaku Ramadan. Masa depan kita cuma merancang yang menentukan atas apa semua. Kita sih tahu setakat ni apa semua nak. So kami just plan ke dia. Yang lain kami serah pada rezeki and then serah pada management. Mun si dah mau apa semua, mun si apa semua, apa boleh buat apa semua. Apa yang penting kami perlu fokus dengan kerja kami sebagai players, fokus apa yang perlu dipola and then fokus apa vision FA.
Even though Joseph is still a newcomer in the Malaysian Super League, the Kuching FA star had successfully proven himself a worthy opponent, apart from qualifying for a slot in the 2020 Malaysia Cup Championship. What's for sure is that the 33-year-old player believes that when the time comes, the team will be more mature and ready to tackle any situation should the COVID-19 pandemic be prolonged. Joseph previously decided to play for Kuching FA last season in the M3 League, bringing the team to qualify for the Premier League for the first time this season.
Well, that's it for the Nightline. Thank you for joining us. I'm Razi Ahmad for TVS. Stay safe and have a good night.